Bulls, I mean, not looking good at halftime, but you knew the bench that you had. Was that always a plan, or did you feel as if maybe
Recording in
27
progress.
that it got away from even the bench impact that you would have been hoping for?
I thought the stride that we scored just before halftime was the game changer. You know, we went in there. It was actually very calm at halftime because we just spoke about a couple of things that we needed to get right, and there wasn't massive chat of ana, just solution driven, and that's what it was.
I mean, you lost a hard worker in Peterson very early, not even a minute into the game. How difficult was that, and also thrusting in Lineouts point for virtually the whole game, having not played rugby in such a long time? Were you concerned about that scenario?
Yeah, not ideal. I mean, one of the things we wanted to do this week was to possibly play Lano with Cornell Smith. That was one of the things we thought about, and they were both coming back from injury. And as you would have it, Cornell Smith then picked up a niggle in the week, and then he wasn't playing. And that's why Lano was on the bench. So we were concerned if he could go at 80, and he did incredibly well for us. Which is, I mean, the interesting thing is we made 4 changes in the week after we had named the side, for whatever reasons it may have been for. And then again, losing Serge so early on wasn't ideal. However, you can see the character in this side that's growing. You know, the guys are playing for one another, and that's all that's important to us at the minute.
I think that you've just answered the character part of my last question. Thank you, Coach.
Just on Serge, can you give us an update on the injury?
Yeah, so I mean, it was a freakish one. I'm also going to wait and hear from the docs exactly what happened there. It's around the groin area.
Coach, apart from losing hair, what else did you learn? I mean, what do you actually learn from a match that's got 84 points?
No, we learned a lot. I mean, there's a lot of teams in the Currie Cup that are talking about how young their squad is, as if they're the only ones that have a young squad. We've got youngsters that we want to come through. And it was beautiful for us because we wanted to put them in the difficult situations. I mean, we emptied our bench early on because that was the plan. You know, guys had to do their job, and then there was someone else coming on, you know, to finish. So we learned. I mean, a guy like Jean also, he got a bit of a longer run at hooker, so that was good for us to see what we've got there. Still 21, you understand. So there's a couple of things. Obviously, we saw a 6-2, and again, like I said, we ended up with almost like a 6-1 because Serge was off so early. And the big thing for me and the biggest learning was we can play. We don't have to wait till the second half to play. You know, we can be more brave probably in the first half.
And do you see the scores? I mean, just ask Darby the same question. Do you see the scores 70, 80 points per match as the future of Currie Cup, or do you see as the guys mature the scores to come?
I don't think so. I mean, you saw last week, Lions and us, it was 25-13, and no one says a thing. Today, it was a bit of an overblown game, yes. So I think it's not always going to be like this. It was a spectacle. Let's enjoy it for what it was. I don't think there's anything to read into it, to be honest.
Your lineouts didn't go all that well. Was it to do with John Elsa, or was it more with the locks? What went wrong there? Especially towards the second.
Yeah, it's probably a timing thing. Remember, we had a new 4 and 5. Like I said, Johnny came on early. We changed 1 or 2 things. So we need cohesion again when it comes to that. Jeff has just come back from SN 20s, and he was the guy calling the lineouts. It's just time on the saddle. I have no doubt we'll be better next week and the week after that. So the more we play with one another, the better we'll become.
And Jeff, he seems to have, he knows how to play them. He was quite impressive, I must say.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we like here. He comes in seamlessly as if he's been with us for such a long time. And like I said, 1 or 2 things. And the biggest thing for us that we spoke about post-Province in the first game is that it doesn't matter what department doesn't work, we still have to win games. So we need to find a way. So I'm chuffed that we found a way today. And that's the most important thing for me.
Sorry, but when Jaco van Rot really stepped up. I mean, didn't miss kicks, as far as I know, played well. He played the whole game. And we talked about playoffs earlier in the week. That seems to be a good sign for you going forward.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. For the last 2 weeks, we've been chatting a fair bit about Chris, forgetting that there is Jakes here, and like I said, there's Butter. Keegan can also play fly. We've got Liam in our squad as well. So there's a couple of options that we got in the fly-off berth, and like we said, Jakes was, he kicked unbelievably well when we had penalties, kicked well for touch, and in the second half, I thought we managed the game a lot better than what we did in the second half. We started playing in the right parts of the field, and the most important thing for us was our discipline. It was outstanding in the second half.
Well done, coach.
Good summer.
You gave us a bit of a fright there.
Phiwe, you said you felt in the first half the team could have been more brave. It kind of looked though, maybe they looked a bit over-ambitious at times though. I mean, there were a lot of sort of no-look passes and 50-50, and it kind of allowed Western Province kind of to get a foothold in the game.
Yeah, they strangled us. I thought they kicked incredibly well. They played nothing in the back 40. So, we were hanging ourselves a bit. And like I said, the solutions that we got at halftime, and that was beautiful. So you ask about the scores and that was it. We stay in the moment a bit longer, just, treat it for what it is and don't think too much about anything else.
Some very strong performances though today. I mean, Phiwe Janchi at outside centre looks really comfortable there. Chris Smith I thought was outstanding at 12. It looks like you could have a really nice partnership building there.
I agree with you, and that's why we probably wanted to carry on with them, because they've been playing together for a fair bit now, so they're getting better and better in terms of, again, that cohesion and understanding. It wasn't ideal to lose Serge so early, because then we had to shift up here to wing, and again, Lano class act from him. He just fitted in there seamlessly.
Coach, leading the lock, did you expect to be at this situation when you started the season? And is there anything that you would like to improve?
Expectation. I honestly don't think about logs, and because it's such a long comp and yet short comp, if that makes sense. So for us, today was important. Today was really, really important to play at home and give a proper performance that we're proud of. Yes, there's things we could have done better in the first half. Second half, we rectified a lot of things. And I'm not just talking about the score, I'm talking about our accuracy, intent. And we said we wanted to be ruthless. We really showed ruthlessness, to score 40 points to 7. That says something, To answer your question again, it's not about being on top of the log for us. It's about that continuous improvement. For us, it's pretty simple. It's Kaizen every single day. So it's not just about games. It's about the week in preparation. Well, how can we be better? We're challenging each other. We're challenging, especially the senior guys in our squad. To really step up. And I'm not talking about performance on the field. The growth of the younger players is very much dependent on them.
Just on up here with Coach P, how did you decide that he would probably make a very good 13? What qualities do you see in up here, and how has he been able to so quickly turn his momentum around from a place where towards the end of the Sharks seemed to be stagnating, and then he comes to a different union, different position, he seems to be firing at the minute?
Yeah, the big thing for me is I obviously know him from a long time now. Even just before, maybe let's leave that one. So the big thing about him is how well he trains. We obviously see different things that you guys might pick up. I'm going to hammer on it again. The biggest thing about the Bulls is having players that can play multiple positions and play them well. There was no panic when we went into a 6-1 early on in the, we still had Keegs. And if Keegan had to come on, he himself can slot in at 10, he can slot in at wing, he can slot in at fullback. So there's a lot of comfort around that, And again, up front, I thought the guys that came on made a massive, massive difference. We knew they would. You know, that was why we went 6-2, because you know you're going to get a fresher pack in the second half.
Ashfaq?
Thanks, Runga. Hi, Phiwe. You scored 5 tries across 17 minutes either side of half time. Obviously, at 27-3, you would have been worried. What was the message at the break? Because the guys just kept on playing. It seemed like they were a bit more direct and more aggression and all of that, and that seemed to do the trick.
Yeah, I mean, one of the big things, like I keep on saying, being brave. Being brave doesn't mean you just got to chuck the ball around. It's a different bravery that we were looking for. No, I mean, the panic thing, remember, a rugby game is long, you know, and in that you get peaks and troughs, and how you manage that momentum is massive to us. Something that we talk about all the time. I mean, we saw, yeah, it's still bizarre to me how many stops we had just to discuss the whole situation around the front row that we saw, whether the guy should have been on, should have been off. So even that, how we managed that time around that situation was important for us.
And just a word on the skipper, Nizam. First off, yellow card, but seemed like when Mpilo went off, Nizam going back to number 8, he just came into his own. There's some lovely touches and offloads and getting the guys going.
Yeah, Nemo's a class act. Nemo's a class act. He understands what his role is in the side, you know, and he's really growing in there. And long may it last.
And just quickly on Mpilo, is he okay? What's the injury?
Yeah, he was cramping. So that, again, the big thing for us is we don't want to take chances if guys are cramping, especially when you've got a 6-2 bench. So he had done his work, and he actually ended up playing probably the last 7 minutes or so because Nama took a bit of a head knock.
Okay, thanks.
Cool. Devin?
I'm good, thanks.
All right, cool. JJ?
Coach, you must be impressed by the character that the team showed after being 24 points down and coming back and securing such an impressive win. That's number one. And secondly, what do you guys need to work on for the Cheetahs next week?
Yeah, I'm hell of a chuffed because I know that the guys have that sort of performance in them. And even pre-match, what we were talking about it will click today. It will click, you know, we just have to be patient. And probably we weren't patient enough in that first half. And in the second half, naturally, the game, we just managed it a lot better. And when I say manage it, everyone knew what the plan was from the start, and, you know, we stayed in the moment.
And for next week against the Cheetahs, is there any particular area that you guys need to work on?
Yeah, like we said, I mean, our set piece needs to improve. And when I say need to improve, we didn't go well today, and that's been one of our strongest points in, you know, the other 3 games. So it's not like we're going to throw the baby out with the bathwater type of thing, you know. So there's 1 or 2 things again that we must look at and really, really fix, which I said is a set piece. However, when we are lethal and we are ruthless and we are direct, then we are very hard to beat.